cloud server. Excellent. And now that this is done, I will now make you the host. Do you want to change the host? Yes, I do. Okay. The recording is going on at your end, right?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So Anubhav, I'll take your leave.
Okay.
Right. I think 19 people have come in. This is for batch A, so they would be about half. So about
Okay.
42 in one batch, 42 in the other batch.
Fine.
But we don't get a complete count. So I'm expecting anywhere from 25 to 30 people to come. Right.
And so we can wait for a couple of minutes.
You can wait till 9:05 and then you can start. If anybody, actually, you can even wait for 2-3 more minutes because it is the first session. So I would not like anybody to miss. Right?
Fine.
Great. Thank you, Anubhav. Over to you.
Sure.
Bye.
Morning.
Hi, morning. Morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Morning, sir.
Yeah. So we are waiting till 9:05. Once everybody joins in, or once some more people join in, we will start. Okay. So I think all of you are from first year MBA, PGDBM. I think Sriram College. What I would like you to give is, in the chats, you can just give about your bachelor's degree. Okay, such that I am very familiar with the background of people. So, for example, me, I will write Anubhav, and on the top, with that, I will write, I have done my, let's say, engineering. Okay. So, I am very familiar with the backgrounds that all of you are coming from. Once we are done with this, so just give me your name. Along with that, just give the backgrounds that you are coming. It might be arts, it might be commerce, it might be some BSc, okay, or some creative arts. That's great, Naveen. Naveen is from engineering, Rishi is from commerce, okay. Sachin is from BCom honors, okay.
I'm from law background.
Can you please come again?
I'm Vishal. I'm from the law background.
Oh, that's great. That's very nice. Okay, Shivani is from BCom honors. Chandra is from engineering. Adish is from engineering. Okay. Yeah, morning. Hi, Mansi. Mansi is from BCom. And also, I would like to first of all congratulate all of you. And I will be very feel honored to address you guys or have a training session for you guys, since you are from Sriram College of Engineering. It's very well known across India, and it's great that right now MBA students, especially, Python is one of the demanded skills that is being asked everywhere. And along with that, employers are expecting you to know SQL. Employers are expecting you to know Power BI. Okay. So these 2-3 extra skills, if done properly, will have definitely more weight on your resume as compared to any other candidate, okay, who has not done this. So I'll tell you from my personal experience. Right now, we are hiring for Hitachi Energies, and I'm working as an enterprise architect over there. And all the MBAs who have come in, even though they are 9-pointers or 10-pointers from respective engineering colleges, still we are expecting them to know some basics of Python along with some NumPy, Pandas library, and also to write SQL queries. Okay, so I would highly recommend computer. Like right now, the Indian government has made coding for compulsory from class 6 according to the new education policy. So you can say that yes, coding, basics of coding along with some SQL will definitely help you out in getting rest of the jobs in the industry. Okay, since it's 9:05, let's get started. Okay. Let me know once you can see my screen. What you can give is, if you can see my screen, you can give me 100 in the chat. 100. Okay. That's great, Rishi. Okay, fine. So why basics of coding? Why having a session on AI and basics of ML also? Okay, so these two are these things. Along with that, I think you have one session with me on blockchain also. Fine. So right now, the industry, when it comes to knowing basics of coding, there is a lot of data which is flowing in, as you know, lots of data. I will tell you one pattern which has been noticed, because many times you will see that people say if artificial intelligence comes in, it will take a lot of jobs. Okay, and it is already taking. There was a pattern which was noticed when manufacturing had come in around 1950s. Okay, so they were saying all the manual laborers will lose their jobs. Okay, now the revolution continued and it went till 1970s, 1980s also, and along with that, from 80s onwards, early 90s and 80s onwards, computers had come in. Again, they said that a lot of jobs will be taken over as computer has come. Okay. After that, in 1995, internet came in, and it said if mails and everything has come in, then again they said all these manual laborers job, which includes manual work, these things will go away. In all the three revolutions, one pattern was noticed every 25 years. Actually, it led to creating more jobs. Can you say why? In all the three revolutions, they say, I mean, after taking the survey, they wanted to, they came up with a survey that this, led to creation of more jobs. Can somebody tell me why? Why did it lead to basically create more jobs?
Due to the industrialization.
Industrialization is one thing, yeah. But what what do you think? These manual laborers or this manual work which was coming in the industry, which had to be done. What do you think? If they have lost their job, how do you think they will basically get new jobs? To operate such technologies, creative people were needed. Correct. Absolutely correct, Lonkar. So what happens is every time, whenever this kind of revolution has taken place, people who were required for manufacturing, there were machines who had come in, okay, which could do work what almost 100 or thousands of, handloom workers were doing. They could do the same work by using those machines. We needed people to run those machines. We needed trained, skilled people to run those machines, maintain those machines, test those machines, along with quality assurance. Okay. So similar thing came with the computers. Okay. We needed people who were skilled with computers, who were in those days, if MS Office used to be a good skill, considered to be a good skill for employment in 1990s. Okay. Knowing MS Office was a big thing, and the thing that it revolutionized was all these things which were doing on papers, they got digital. Okay, and we needed people who knew computer as a skill, and that lead to more number of jobs actually. Okay, so similarly, if AI is coming in, this will actually create more number of jobs, because we will need people who can play with the data being generated. Okay, who can find out how they can help their employers, their clients to run their businesses better. Okay, businesses better. So if they can run their businesses better by analyzing this data and come up with machines which can do actually predictions and estimations about the future. Okay, when you go to Amazon, many times you end up buying things which you do not need. Okay, for example, you went for buying a tennis ball. Along with that, it will give you suggestions about the tennis racket also. Along with that, it will give you suggestion about buying a tennis bat also. Okay. So what is this? You say you did not go there to buy the racket. You did not go there to buy the bat, but you ended up getting that. You went there to get some, get a book for cat preparation. Along with that, Amazon is also suggesting you a test series for cat preparation. Okay. So what is this? This is basically building a recommendation engine based upon the data of people who have served their website. Okay. They will kind of connect with similar kind of people, and this is recommendation engine. Fine. So to run these kind of businesses, since internet has come in very well due to geo revolution since 2015 and 16, now everybody is on the internet, everybody is on e-commerce, and all the businesses, almost all Fortune 500 have very well migrated towards these latest technologies, that is using AI, internet, blockchain. Okay. So we will need people who know these technologies, at least basics of them, to run the businesses well. Fine. So that is the reason even a MBA business guy, whether he is from operations, whether he's from sales, whether he's from marketing, he's expected to do very good data analysis. And that is the reason these technologies like SQL, Python, data analytics, at least the basics, standard libraries like NumPy, Pandas, they are expected to know this very well. Fine. See, all these things this is not something new. The MIT Media Lab, which is in the US, they have been working on AI and ML since almost 1960s. Okay, so this is not a new subject. I can't say this is new. But I mean, when it comes to common people, okay, right now, almost everybody is doing analysis of data. Almost every company is coming up with machine learning models which can predict the future of their business, or which helps them know the customer very well, which helps them know their competitors very well. So to get the data and analysis and come up with a machine learning model, all these three stages were very difficult when it comes to doing as if you are doing an Excel. You know what Microsoft did was they came up with Excel to make things very simple. But what the three steps that I told you about machine learning and AI, which is being done by all the business analysts, were very difficult in the past because of the languages which were only made for programmers. Okay, which were only made for technical people. Now what happens is one of the person who is from a business background, and also he wanted to kind of make programming look very simple and such that everybody can code. He came up with a mission, everybody can code, and this person came up with a programming language which is known as Python. Okay. Earlier, the programming languages which were famous were MATLAB, especially for analytics, and R. All these languages were famous for AI-based programming. But this person said that I can make anybody code and make it so simple that once you are familiar with it, even a business analyst can do artificial intelligence. A business analyst can do good coding as well as come up with machine learning models. Not only that, he said even kids can learn programming. So earlier in schools, they used to teach basic, they used to teach logo, they used to teach C as a programming language for different grades. Okay. Now everything is basically switching to Python. Along with that, the library support for finance, for business, they have added specific libraries such that you can do programming. And that is the reason we will kind of start studying Python now. Okay, so this is basically the motivation to study Python, to study these standard libraries, and also have some basic knowledge of AI. Any doubts, ladies and gentlemen? Any doubts? Fine. So what I will require from your side is you should just have a Google account. You should just have a Google account, and you need to log into your Google account. okay, which is, as you know, gmail.com, and you just need to log in into that. Okay. Now, once you have logged in, just open another window and say colab.research.google.com. colab.research.google.com. I am going to share this link in the chat also. Fine. Once you are able to open it, what you can do is just give me a 150 in the chat. That's great, Puneet. Yes, you can use Jupyter as well. It's completely fine. You can use Jupyter as well. Fine. Great. So once you can see the screen, I want you to click upon new notebook. Fine. You can just give the title of this notebook. It is Python for MBAs. And you can say day 1. Fine. You can give any title. It's completely upon you. I will give it like this. Fine.
Sir, can you just repeat where?
Can you just repeat what part?
Where will you see new notebook in that screen? I think.
Achha, you couldn't see the new notebook scene. Okay. Fine. I will just open it once more. colab.research.google.com. Okay. If you see, can you see this window?
Yes.
Just go into new notebook. Over here, there is an option to go into new notebook.
Filter notebooks there is.
What is that?
Filter notebooks.
No, not filter notebooks. Just scroll down and there is an option to have new notebooks.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Fine. Great. Sure. Fine. So we will start with something very, very legendary. And that is known as, it is a must do for learning computer programming. And this is known as something known as Hello World. Okay. So what we will say, we will print the most basic thing, which is Hello World. So always remember, whenever you want to print something to the screen, you will use the print statement. Okay, or print function, and in the you will use parenthesis over here. Okay, inside that you will give the string or the text you want to print on the screen. Okay, I know some people are from engineering background and they must have studied some basics of Python. Okay, but this is for everybody. If you are, even if you are new to this, believe you me, you will do wonders with all this. Okay, and it is not difficult to learn. It is very, very simple to learn. So just do print, use these parentheses. These are known as parentheses. Okay, and just write hello world. How do you run it? Just use Shift Enter. Fine. It will take some time to run for the first time only. After that, it is very rapid. Okay. So it might take 5 to 7 seconds in the starting. But if you are done, if you are able to write hello world on your screen, just give me a HW in the chat. That's great. Fine. So you'll say, after that, what you will do is you will say print and you will write your name. And you can say my name is, I'll say Anubhav Chaturvedi. Okay. You can write a line about yourself, which is print. I am a freelancer corporate trainer. Right? So like just write your name, write about yourself. If you are done with those things, you will give me a done. That's great, Puneet. That's very nice, Mansi. Good, Ayush. Atish. That's great, everybody. Chandra, Ankit, Sheena, Nikita. That's very nice, Shivani. Fine. Now, one more thing. Once we are done with this workshop, okay, how do you basically recollect what was the code? So like with every explanation, you must be making notes in your class. I mean, whenever you were studying in college or studying in school, you are making notes. So similarly, how do you make notes in your programming? Okay, so we have something known as comments. So you can just add a hash and you will say this is the code to run hello world. Okay, similarly, this is the code to print my name. As simple as that. Okay. So whatever is in hash does not get processed. These are known as comments. These are known as comments. Okay. Whatever is there in hash, they do not get processed. Okay. So you can say this is a comment. Fine. If you were able to add comments, okay, you will give me a comment. And also every time, make sure that you are adding some comment to the code because you need to later see it. And also if you are working in a corporate, okay, where you are basically sending Python sheets to somebody else, make sure that you have given the comments because somebody else is going to see your work. Okay, for him, this might be a new code. Great. Fine. Now we will see what is the concept of variables. What is the concept of variables? So imagine that you must be solving variables in your mathematics till class 10, till class 12, in which you were doing x is equal to 1. Let us say, how do you find the value of x? Yes, this is case sensitive. Garima, this is case sensitive. very much case sensitive. Yeah. So almost all programming languages, apart from SQL, are case sensitive. There is a syntax, there is a measure that you need to follow. Fine. Next, what we will do is, like you had to solve x is equal to 1. So similarly, in order to not write things again and again, what if I say you have to write your name 100 times in different strings? So to store it at a single place and use that variable again and again, okay, we will use this concept of variables. So I will say name is equal to Anubhav, fine, and I will say hobby is equal to teaching, fine. So I will say print my name is, and I will add the variable over here, name, comma, hobby is, comma, hobby, fine. Did you get it? If you were able to make a string which assigns variable, okay, this is known as variable assignment, okay, and this is known as including strings, including variables while printing, okay. If you were able to create this, you will give me a VAR in the chat. That's very nice, Ashpreet. Okay, that's great, everybody. Next, what we need to do now is, I want you to use these another string, print the checkbook has to be issued on the name of, you will again use this variable, fine. So you can use this variable as many times as you want without writing your name again and again, because once it is stored, it is in the memory and you can use it as many times as possible, fine. Print one of the best hobbies to have is, again, you will use this variable which is known as hobby. Fine. If you are done, just give me a done. Acha, good question, Siddharth. Siddhant, okay. What happens is whenever you want to add anything apart from string, this is known as string, and something which is a combination of strings, or whenever you want to combine these things, we call it concatenation. Whenever you want to concatenate two things, we will use a comma. Did you get it, Siddhant? Whenever we want to basically concatenate things, we will use comma. Any other questions? Did I answer your question, Siddharth? When to use a single comma and when to use a double comma? Very good question. Very good question. So, whenever there is a rule, whenever you have a string, okay, or text, something which is non-number has to be enclosed in double quotes or a single quote. This is a rule. So I'll say print Siddhant Garg is enthusiastic. Okay. So you can see it works with double quotes, but if I do not include double quote, it will give you an error. Okay, because strings are expected to be closed within double quotes only. Okay, this is a rule. So these are axioms. You can consider them as axioms. Okay. So Siddhant Garg is enthusiastic. Next, I can use the same thing with single quotes also. Okay. But if I need to add another string, which is he has hobby, comma, hobby. Did you get this? So now we are combining three strings. So we will use comma. Okay. If you have understood, yeah, great. So everybody, if you are clear with this, what you will give me in text is, you will give a single double quote, you will give a comma, and you will give a single quote. If you have understood these concepts. Great. Now what we will do is, we will kind of start to make these strings even more best. Okay. So I'll say quote is equal to, I'll say it ain't over till it's over. Fine. So this is one of the quote. What I'll do is, I can make print quote dot, and I'll say upper. Okay. So you can manipulate the strings. Upper is a function. Something which is a function will have parentheses on the top of it. Okay. So upper is a function which converts lower case to uppercase. Okay. If you were able to do this, just give me an upper. And can somebody tell me what is where this quote is coming from? Yatharth, yes, it is inbuilt, and we call it library function. Anything which is inbuilt is known as library function. Okay, got it, Yatharth? Fine. Oh yes, it does give suggestion. Yes, it does give suggestion. Okay. So what I'll do is I will first of all have lower this uppercase as one of the variables, and I'll say code dot upper. Fine. I'll print the uppercase. Fine. Now, in order to convert it to lowercase, you can see just press upon control space. It will give you all the suggestions. Sachin, just press upon sorry, Puneet, just press upon control space. It will give you all the suggestions. For me, it is low. Just press upon tab. Okay. Okay. Do we have to put full stop before applying library functions? Very good question. Whenever you are applying functions to any variables, okay, whenever applying functions to any variable or strings, always add a dot. Fine. Got it, Sachin? Okay, great. Next is, are you able, if you are able to understand upper and lower and perform both? If you are getting this string, just put this in lower and give it to me in the chat. That's very nice, everybody. Okay, so next. Now we will see one more function. Okay. What we will do is we will say print okay fine. Okay. You can see this. Okay fine. What I'll do is in this I will replace. I can do this like this. Okay. Whenever you see a fine, just replace it with great. Okay. Fine. And just make it uppercase, let's say. Fine. So just add a bracket over here also. Fine. So it's like step by step. We need to do this. So we'll do it together. Okay. So I want you to do this with me step by step. So okay, fine. Just give me. If you are done with this, just give me 160. Okay. Once you are done with this, I want you to add and just add dot replace. Okay. And replacing fine with great. Okay. If you are done with this, just give me a 170. Okay. Take your time. Take your time. I'll wait for 2 minutes. Okay. But just let's do it step by step. That's great, Atish. Okay, great. So what I'll do is no, it will have the effect on only these codes, not the previous codes, not the previous codes. Okay, Siddhant. There are some cases in which they will affect the previous codes. I will discuss those cases also. Okay, those are references. Okay, great. Okay, fine. Now I want to try your Python string is basically Python's screen is basically a calculator also. So if you write 100 plus 100, it will give you results. Okay. If you give 100 cross 150, it will give you results. I want you to try these operations. So at the same time, how do you use power operation? So for that, what we will do is we will write 2 cross 3. So 2 raised to 3 is written as 2 cross 3. So this is the operation for power. Double star, or we call it asterisk. So if you are done with all the 3, where do we use all these? Oh yeah. So we will basically see some data sets, Rishi, right now. I think by in the second session, or in the second session, we'll be seeing some data sets. Now, in order to manipulate those data sets, or in order to have operations on those data sets, we will be using all these things. Did you get it? Data sets of different companies, which are startups, or yeah. So if you have tried these 2-3 operations, I want you to give me ops. So these are known as operators. Great. So we will say print, and we will use the concept of f strings. Okay, just add a f over here, and we will say 100 cross 100, and we will say equals. In the brackets, you can give 100 into 100. Okay. So this is how basically in a string you can have operators with the string. Okay. If you are done with this, just give me a string ops. We have used the concept of f strings because, Nikita, over here we have operators, which we have an expression which have to be, which is using an operator which has to be embedded inside the string. Okay. So whenever in such situation, we will use the concept of f strings, and the operators have to be enclosed within curly braces. Okay. So this is not allowed in normal strings, and that is the reason we have f strings. So I'll again tell you. I'll say f strings are used for using Python code inside the string. Did you get it, Nikita? Yeah, okay, fine. I'm waiting for everybody. Can you just give a string ops if you are done with this?
So I have a question that every time we are going to the next code, do we have to click on the code plus code?
Yeah. So to add a new block, you can use plus code is one thing. Okay. As soon as you do shift enter, it will automatically create a new code actually. Fine. Okay. String ops, it is done. Okay. Fine. What if I remove this? Do you think we were expecting this? If you remove this, okay.
No.
No. So that is the reason we will have F strings, okay. Formatting strings, and that too calculations always go in curly braces. Fine. So once we are good with this, let's go to the next topic. Okay. We are good with strings. We will do some calculations now. Okay. So what we will see is depending upon the type of restaurants you go, okay, or the type of hotels you go or canteens you go, we generally pay tips. Okay. Fine. So what we will do is we will make a tip calculator. Okay. We will make a tip calculator. Fine. So what we will do is we will take the amount as input. Amount is equal to, and we will say in integer, just give me an input. How much is your bill? How much is your bill? Fine. And we will say printf or print your bill is and we will say amount into 0.18. Okay. I'll say your tip. So let's say if I am giving inputs as 500, so $90 is this tip. Are you getting this? So over here, we are basically taking inputs and storing it in this variable, which is known as amount. So this is whenever you have input, it is for taking input from the user. Okay. And over here, to calculate the tip. Okay. So let's say I'm paying 18% as tip. GST to Government of India, but fine. So the tip is $12.6. Okay. If you were able to make this, if you are able to do this, just give me a tip. can you give me the in the chat? I want you to calculate what will be the tip. I mean, if I decide to let's give only 10% tip, can you give me what will be the print statement for
0.10?
change करके बताओ ना. I want you to give that printf string to me. That's great, Nishchal. Fine. Okay. Now I want you to do one thing for me. I want you to take input sets P, R, and T. Okay. And just give me the simple interest. Write a code to write simple interest. Any luck? Was anybody able to create like taking three things P, R, and T and give me the answer for simple interest? Can you by any chance make a code like that? Everybody, take your time. It's completely fine. So it is SI calculator. Am I correct? How many of you have started the code? If you have started the code, just give me a 180. We have started to code. It's fine. That's great, Ashpreet. Okay. Take your time. Once you are done, just let me know. As soon as you are done, just give me a done. It's a basic test. Yeah. Everybody knows the formula of simple interest, I hope. Can somebody write in the chat what is the formula of simple interest? Okay, Siddhant is saying P is equal to this, R is equal to this, PRT upon 100. Where is 100? Siddhant, this code is wrong. I told you to take the inputs. Kindly correct it and give it to the chat again. Very good, Ankur. Yes. Excellent. Excellent, Ankur. Okay. Okay, ji, okay. Now one thing is there. One thing is a problem. So I will use Ashpreet's code and run it over here. Excellent, Ashpreet. So you are from, I mean, engineering, Ashpreet, or?
Sir, I'm from mathematics.
You are from?
Mathematics background, but I did a little bit of programming.
Your voice is a bit breaking. Can you just write it in chat? So the code she has written is mathematics. So that's great. That's great. Okay. So just see everybody. I mean, what happens is many times, what if the values are in decimal? So your integers will not work. Over here we have decimal, which is popularly known as float. Okay, so this is popularly known as float. Okay, so whenever you have decimal inputs, na, so we will use this. So 100.880. Enter your time. Let's say it is 5 years. And rate of interest is, let's say, 8%. Okay, so you can see that SI is 40.32. Okay. What if I give 100.567? Time is 5 years. 8.9. Can somebody tell me how to correct this? I do not want this much. Okay. So in order to restrict it to 2 decimal digits, just make it like this. Okay. Whenever you have to restrict it to 2 decimal digits, you will say colon, comma, and you want it to 2 floating points. I mean 0.2f. That means for 2 decimal digits. Okay. So very well done, Nitinav, Ashpreet, Yatharth. Very good. Okay. Okay, Nikita has done well. Okay. Ankur has done great. Nishya also done great. Yeah. Float is for taking decimal inputs. Whenever you want decimal inputs, have to be taken along with their precision till last decimal digit. We will use floating points, Ankit, for decimal inputs. Okay. Okay, great. Fine. Now we will make a election voter. Okay, we will make an election voter. So what you need to do is you will say int is equal to, and you will say input. Let's say I have age is equal to int, and we will say input, enter your age. Fine. And we will check for decision making. We will check for decision making, and we will say if age is greater than 18, print you are allowed to vote. And you'll say else, print you are not allowed. Fine. So always make sure that whenever there are if, for all if statements, you will have an indent. Indent means this extra space. Once you have added this colon, there will be automatically an extra space created, and this is known as indentation. Okay. For decision making, we will use this. Fine. I want you to create this election voter. If you're done with this, just give me an EV, election voter. If you're done with this, just give me an EV. Yes, why not? Yes, Rishi, you can use it. Fine. Now we will make one more case. Okay, we will say mutual fund returns. Okay. So you have to make a code for mutual funds. Okay. What we will do, we will say years of investment. Okay. So I'll say enter your years of investment. So if always remember, variables cannot have spaces. Variables are single word, cannot have spaces. Okay. So let's say if years of investment is greater than 5 years, okay, you can expect it says greater than, or let's say it is less than 2 years. Okay, you can expect 5% returns. Else if okay, if years of investment is less than 5, you can expect 10% returns. Else, or if it is even more than that, you can say fine. So let's say if you are got it. I want you to make this MFI. Okay. So this will include 3 things. See, whenever there are multiple branches, let's say if over here there was case if and else. Over here there is a case of if, else if, and else. Okay. This is known as MF calculator. Okay. Fine. Like this, you can have multiple branches in else if. If you are done, just give me a MFC, mutual fund calculator. Great. Awaiting all your responses. I think it should not take that much time. Fine. That's great, Ashpreet. That's great, Shivani. Very good, Puneet. Okay. Great, Nikita. Nice one, Nishchay. Great, Atish. If I put 1, which criteria it will take? So since 1 is less than 2, it will take the first criteria, which will say you can expect 5% returns. If I put 1, it will say you can expect 5% returns. Fine. Now I want you to basically help me out in one more case. You need to make a scholarship calculator. Okay, a scholarship calculator. So if a person is getting, you will take input as name and percentage. Okay, if the percentage is, let's say, greater than 95%. Okay, if percentage is greater than 95%, you will say the person will get 100% scholarship. Okay, if a percentage is less than, I mean, from 85 to 90, you will say he will get 80% scholarship. Okay, and if percentage is less than 80, okay, let's say 70 to 80, 50% scholarship. Okay, and else no scholarship. Fine. Can you make this for me? Scholarship calculator. Can you just do this, everybody? If you think you can able to do it, just give me a 200. If you think you will be able to make it. Okay. Yeah. So 90. If he's 90 to 95% is there. If 90 to 95%, just give him 90% scholarship. Okay. Okay. Great. I want you to start doing this. You can have like multiple things added over here also. Let's say if it is less than 5 and greater than 3, like this. So this is known as logical operator. Fine. So let's say if I give 4 over here, so it will give 10% returns. So there is something known as AND. which is kind of a group operator, or you can say logical operator. So this might be able to help you. Okay, just let me know once you are done. Okay, let's run his code. So Nitina was saying float, okay, enter percentage, fine, let us run this. So I had got 92% in class 12. So, oh, sorry, enter the name, okay, 92 over here. Fine. That's great, Nitina. Kudos to you. That's great. Acha, can you just help me out with this? If the college fees is 1 lakh, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you give me the money that I need to pay? Because since there is a scholarship involved, can you just give me the money also that I need to pay? If I have received the scholarship, what is the final money that I need to pay? Just optimize and improvise upon it and let me know the code. No, I have told you that the scholarship, I mean, the fees is 1 lakh. So just tell what is the money that I need to pay. For example, 1 lakh rupees, okay, is the fees, and I got 90% scholarship. Okay, so I need only to pay 10,000 now. Got it, Nitin? Nitin, up. Okay. You can share your codes once you're done. Okay, Ankur is done. There is no square rush. Fees to be paid 1 minus 0.5 1 minus 0.8 into fee. चलो करके देखते हैं your code. Let us run it. Ankur's code. Fine. My name is Anubhav and let's say I scored 36%. $10,000 100% scholarship. अच्छा एक गलती है इन सब में. अच्छा greater than equal to everybody has used it. Great. Fine. Excellent. एक और बार ट्राई करते हैं को टेस्ट केस. Let's say up and down. He has got a 88%. So 80%. अच्छा one more thing. Yeah, Ankur, can you just optimize upon it? I just only want it for 2 decimal digits. Can you just optimize upon this? Because it is not looking good over here. Okay, जी. वैसे great effort. और ये थोड़ा ये भी देखिए ना अंकुर. Just make sure that there is a space over here. Else this is not looking good. Name Abhinav ऐसे करके. There is a space over here. Just make sure ये input से पहले you are giving some space. और सब में ये I mean just make sure for everything. कौन भेजा है ये? नितिन. ओके. Enter the fees. I already told it as well. Fine. चलो बढ़िया. Great. Good effort. वैसे नितिन, what is your background? Like prior to this, what were you pursuing, or what you were doing job something? You can write it in chat. Oh, BSc honors in physics. Great. ये DU में से किया है क्या? You have done it for DU? Oh, Ramjas. Okay. Fine, great. Everybody is done. I have received 2 responses, and also I've received Ashpreet's response, and that looks. Let's see what does her code look like. Enter your percentage. Let's say 89, and the fees is, let's say 1 lakh. You are eligible for 80% scholarship, and fees is 20,000. Fine. That's great, Ashpreet. Okay, great. Ashpreet is done. Nitinav is done. Ankur is also done. That's great. I'm awaiting at least 3 more responses now. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be sharing these notebooks with you later. But I want 100% participation in the class, because that will kind of make it even more interesting. Okay, so I want you to make it even more interesting. Okay, make it even more interesting. So what we will do is, if a person, we will let's say take 3 type of inputs from the person. If a person, there is a category again. So the category is, if a person is, let's say, getting 80% plus marks. Okay. Along with that, he has played some nationals in sports. Okay. Now he will get scholarship of 10% extra. Okay. If he is getting 70% marks and he has played nationals, okay, he will get 12% scholarship. Okay. In the case of he has played for state level, okay, just add 5% extra to his scholarship. Okay. Can we do this? What do you think? Can we do this? Is it achievable? I mean, this is for the ones who have done with the previous program, not for everybody. Okay. Ashpreet, Nitinav, Ankur, do you think this is doable? What do you think? I can just give you a hint. Okay, great. I want you to implement this. I want you to implement this. Also, everybody just share the codes with me once you are done. Just share the codes with me once you are done. Okay. Or if you think it is working and you do not need to share the codes, just give me a done. If you are done with the first step, only the if you are done with scholarship calculation, then also just give me a done. This is more than enough. Are we done, Nikita? Okay, Venu is done. Great. Garima, Pavan, Puneet, Chandra, Sachin, Siddhant, are we done? Yatharth? Yes, scholarship part is done. Fine. That's great, everybody. That's great. Fine. Now, how do you compare strings? How do you compare strings? Okay. So for string comparison, what we will do is we will kind of compare the strings which are taken in inputs to check if the person has played nationals or not. Okay. So we will use the concept of equals, which is a so yeah, correct. So we will say over here we will compare these two things. What have you played? So it means nationals or states. So I will say, I will check it like this. Sports is equal to if sports is equal to nationals, print, he has played nationals. Fine. This is how you compare the two strings. Okay, so make sure that assignment is equal to comparison is double equal to. Okay, fine. Can we implement this thing also, everybody? Okay, if he's getting more than 70, if he's like 80% marks and more, and also he has played nationals, then he should get 10% scholarship. Okay, sorry, 12% here and 10% over here. Okay, and if he has played state level at any point, just add 5% extra to his scholarship. Do you think we can achieve this thing? Okay, because this will not apply, all these things will not apply for 95% plus. Okay, only below that it will apply. Do you think we can achieve this? Just give me a Y or N, yes or no. Okay, great. I want you to give me this code. Is it done? Just give me a 220 once it is done. Any doubts? Any doubts? We can implement, I mean, basically improve this one itself. See, I will say over here, enter nationals if played nationals, and states if played states. Okay. And I will have this sports variable over here. And since we are only checking else percentage is greater than 90 and percentage is greater than 90 is sports, so 90% scholarship. Okay. But one more tag we can add, if sports is equal to nationals. Okay. Just add the over here scholarship in starting is equal to 0.0. Fine. And over here, if sports is equal to nationals, okay. Where to practice Python language for beginners? Okay. I will give you a set of links where you can practice it very well. Okay. So there are some questions which have to be performed, and you will be very thorough with it after that. Okay. So I will say scholarship, yeah, is equal to 0.6. Why? So over here it will be scholarship into fees. So if let's say Anubhav, and let's say I get 92%. If I say yes, I played nationals, let's say the fees is 1 lakh. Fine. So I have to pay only 6,000. This fees to be paid is, yeah. So I'll say 1 minus scholarship into fees. Got it? Everybody has understood this thing. If you have understood what I did, just give me a 230. Fine. Okay, Nitina. Any doubts? Any doubts? Any doubts? I can explain it, the part you have not understood. That's great, Ashpreet. Okay. Okay. Fine. I will share these codes with you along with the explanations. Right now, let us do a final concept. Okay. For I, what if I tell you to give me a series, or let's say a multiplication table of 10. It's very simple. Okay. So you can print like this, print 1 into 1. Okay. So it will be 1. Similarly, you can do it for all, let's say all 10 things. Fine. What if I say we have the concept of loops over here? So we have the concept of loops. And I'll say like this, numbers, or let's say I will say for I in range 1 to 10 or 11. Okay. And I'll say print one into I. Okay. 1 into I is 1 into I. Fine. Got it? So it is as simple. So whatever is the repetitive kind of statements, okay, can be taken care by loops. Can be taken care by loops. Okay. So what it is doing, we are having one variable which is going to traverse from 1 to 11 minus 1. That is 10. Okay. In the range of 1 to 11 minus 1. And we are going to do is we are going to multiply that thing by this variable. So 1 into 1 is 1. 1 into 2 is 2. Till 10, it is going to 1. Fine. If you have understood this, just give me a loops. Great. Great. Fine. Okay. Now, once you have implemented it, I want you to give me this series to me. 2 raised to 0, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, till 1024. Can you just give this series to me? Can you just give me a loop which will give me this series? In the starting of the class, I told you that whenever you will use power, okay, power operator. Excellent, Ash Breather. Excellent. So the operator for power is double cross. Okay. Excellent. Fine. Fine. So if you are, if you can see the solution, okay, and if you are able to implement it, just give me a done in caps lock. Excellent. Okay. Fine. So we will see some more thing. We'll see some more thing like lists. We'll see some more things like dictionaries. Okay. Many more things. We will see. I think the second session is at 12 o'clock. Okay. Are you enjoying programming, everybody? Are you enjoying programming? You can just give me yes or no. I mean, Okay. Especially the first movers. Okay. If you have not done programming and you are first movers into this. Okay. Great, Abhishek. That's nice, Ayush. Atish, any problems in understanding or any problems in, you can always let me know. Are we going at a good pace? Can I make it faster or can I make it slower? Faster or slower? So far, so good. Okay. Great. So after that, we will see some data sets and we will see some NumPy, pandas, dictionaries. Okay. All these things. And we will have even more fun. Okay. Shalom. We'll wait after an hour. Okay. Okay. So we are closing for now. Thanks, everybody. Okay. Thanks. Which link? Please share the link. How do I share which link? Oh, yeah. A link for Python practice. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I will share it with Havish, sir, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Yeah, he will send it to you. Fine. Yeah, thanks. Bye. We'll meet after an hour.